What's dangerous is when the universe pick you and you put on the magic glasses. There's rules that go with them. You can never take them off. You never see things as they're supposed to be. You see things as they are. And you can never force nobody else to wear them.
I think while I lie awake and contemplate tonight are wearing me out. Well, maybe tomorrow the world will wake and get it right, but I have my doubts, yeah. During the day, well, I design machines of war that scream through the sky. 'Cause I, for one, I like to go to bed free at night under these stars and stripes. And I have my doubts that we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts, and I have my doubts that we'll make it back out. Yes, I have my doubts, but they'll wind you up and pull the cord until you're spun right out, and I don't understand. Roll the dice and raise the price to feed the machine's mouth. Call it the progress of man. And I have my doubts that we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts. And I have my doubts that we'll make it back out. I have my doubts, so I'll drink my stuff and raise some hell and shoot my guns to the end of my time. You can have the booze and go to hell and take the guns, but I know they won't be mine. Messed up and out of touch, let's text someone who's in the other room. So don't wonder why we don't say hi or know anyone. I might as well move to the moon. So maybe I'm wrong. Well, I hope that I'm wrong. So maybe I'm wrong. Well, I hope that I'm wrong. Well, the things I think while I lie awake and contemplate at night are wearing me out.
Good evening. Hope everyone is doing well. First off, before we get started tonight, I just want to give a reminder, pay a visit to I don't know, the preps that you don't normally pay attention to. Just, I don't know, start going around, going through the oddball stuff, make sure that everything's good to go. Just, you know, we often will have some type of a schedule or something set up. At least I hope you do, as far as like, oh, I don't know, topping off batteries, making sure devices and whatnot are working properly, stuff like that. Hopefully you have some kind of a routine in place. I don't have anything like on paper, literally or figuratively. I just every so often remember to go do these things, just run through all my devices and whatnot. It did kind of catch me off guard, not that it was any kind of an issue, it wouldn't have been an issue, but just something today, and it just reminded me how important it is to go through and even look at things that you may not think so significant, you know, at the moment. So I went to clip my nails earlier, and my nails reside on a keychain that has a lighter and a tank of fuel. And I very, very, very rarely ever crack open this lighter and use it. I don't use it for recreational purposes because it is a Zippo style type of, you know what I mean, a wick lighter. No fun for those purposes. Nasty taste. However, this is, I mean, you talk about a tried and true type of lighter. You talk about something that's gonna work in the worst moments when you need it. It's a wick lighter of some sort, whether it be the Zippo brand or what have you. Well, you know, there's companies like Exotac and stuff like that that make wick lighters that seal. And, you know, because if you put a Zippo lighter in your preps, and if you don't know about this, you will now. If you fill up a Zippo lighter and just throw it in your preps and haven't checked on it, guess what? It is as bone dry gets. I promise you. Unless you ran some electrical tape or something like that around it, which you can most certainly do, eventually that fluid is going to evaporate out. Now, just for the hell of it, I thought, well, I'm going to check my lighter. So I pulled the lighter out, and I could tell it certainly wasn't full. And when I did grab my lighter fluid, it took a considerable amount. I was pretty surprised at how much that cotton wicked up, because again, I don't use this lighter. So then I thought, well, I better check out the tank, and so I opened up the tank, cracked it open. Tank was half full, half full. So and I hadn't emptied it or anything, and my only guess is, because they do seal really well, but my only guess is it's just over a period of time since they reside in my pocket up against my leg. I'm sure over time that it's able to build up pressure and push out just little bitty bits at a time, not even enough to cause my leg to get a rash or anything. If you know, you know. And not anything like, you know, getting my leg all sensitive and youchy. So I had that issue one time because the tank didn't seal real good, and it did leak enough to get my pocket wet with lighter fluid. But only one time, and once I resealed it and stuff, that was that. So just go through your oddball stuff. I mean, this is part of my EDC. I really need to be better about that, because again, this is EDC. You need to make sure your EDC, you're on top of it. Make sure of that. And you know, you got a knife that you carry or whatever, make sure it's sharp. Keep it sharp. Always keep it sharp. I just went through, because I've got a small collection of knives, nothing spectacular by any means, but you know, over the years I've collected a few knives, and obviously I don't carry every single one of them on me. That'd be just silly. But I do keep my extra knives, pretty much every last one of my extra knives, in one of the bags that goes on my bug out bag. and because that's my knives, and I'll go through them periodically and just run them across stone, sharpen them up a little bit, run them across strop a few times, just kind of freshen up that edge, and put it right back in there. So just kind of make sure you periodically do these things. I think sometimes we just overlook. That's the case with the my lighters. I couldn't tell you the last time I checked the fluid in my lighters. I have no idea. I mean, I'm not super concerned because, again, I do have lighter fluid, and I've also got Coleman white gas, which will work just as well as lighter fluid. So, I'm not worried about running out anytime too soon. Aside from that, I don't know. I tried to pay a bit of attention to news today as it came through. It was kind of like a meh thing, you know. There were certainly some notable things. Oh yeah, that's right. There was breaking news about 30 minutes or so before we went live. Let me go ahead and show you that. I forgot. Drone strikes Moscow's financial hub, says mayor. Says a drone has flown into Moscow City, Russian capitalist financial and business hub, crashing into a building that is under construction. Mayor Sergei Sobyanin said it in early hours of Wednesday. He added that no one was hurt. According to Sobyanin, a second UAV has been shot down to the west of Moscow. Moscow City, which contains some of Europe's tallest skyscrapers, hosts the offices of several Russian ministries and agencies, as well as high-end apartment blocks. The district has been targeted by Ukrainian drones in the past. So, just kind of wanted to get that out there since it just went on. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on the title of the show. Do I need to? I mean, holy cow, what? Let's slow down. First of all, let's slow down. First question I have to ask, the data, the information, where did it come from? Oh, Mr. Jones, you don't say. So that means it's absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, the truth. Because the Alex Jones that I know is full of shit about 90% of the stuff that he says. And then once in a while he throws enough darts that want to stick. That's about the long and short of, oh, but he's got this. Doesn't he always? I mean, I used to always joke around with the people on the show here a long time ago about the documents. Because they always talk about the document, right? I used to joke around about it all the damn time. Because he was full of shit 90% of the time. I used to love the dude. Back when he was real. Now he's something that you call controlled opposition. Pay no mind to controlled opposition. Because if you do, they'll propagandize the shit out of you. Anything starting to ring yet? I stepped way the fuck back from Tim Pool. You know why? He is now controlled opposition. They got to him. Haven't heard him talk about any more raids, have you? Those just kind of quit. I mean, once you get a big enough voice, either they will get to you or they will kill you. I mean, do I need to give examples? There's a whole line of individuals that the government's taken out over the years because they knew too much. Was that one guy's name, Michael Hastings, that they just droned his ass right out of his car in California, if I'm not mistaken? Holy hell. Can't forget about that stuff. What's the one guy, Bill something? I think he used to be Coast to Coast Red something. Bill something. Real famous guy. Michael Connolly, that we know here on the show. Like one of his favorite peeps. I can't remember his name. Bill something. That was, very suspicious. Very, very suspicious. The entire thing. And he was one of them that they did everything they could to get to break. And he refused. He absolutely refused. Let me put it in Google. I can't. It's driving me nuts now that I can't remember his name. Bill, and I'll just put dead conspiracy theory. I mean, hell, and I'm spelling it way the fuck wrong, but yeah, see, that's what I put in, right? Isn't that sad? Is that not sad? In my Google search, I put in Bill dead conspiracy theorist, and sure enough, the Wikipedia page for the exact gentleman I'm talking about is the number one search result. Bill Cooper would be the answer to that. Bill Cooper. But there are, countless other instances to where the people that couldn't be broken, JFK, were taken out. Because that's the way it works. That's just the way it works. So if you see somebody that's got a huge voice out there and pay no mind, I'm telling you. They're allowed to do what they do as long as they don't get close enough to the target to get in the way. They'll take your mind a million miles in a different direction from where the action is. I'm telling you, they do it all the time. So, let's just bring up common sense. Are you going to put on a mask if they tell you to put on a mask? Huh. To hell, you say. Yeah, I got the same thoughts. See, when it went around in the very beginning, and if there is anything to this that they're saying now, if there's actually anything to it, you'll probably see us do the exact same thing we did before. And we limit our exposure. Intentionally. Why? Because I'm not a freaking dumbass. If there's something deadly out there going around, I'm not going to try to be Billy Badass tough guy to catch it and fucking die because my whatever condition, pre-existing conditions. That's stupidity. But I'm also not going to let them tell me what to do. I mean, I did that myself the last time when it first happened. Before they even were admitting to it being in the frickin' country, we were already starting what little bit of, because we don't have a lot of exposure to begin with, but we did start to minimize it. And we did start to pay attention to things. Jen went to the store. She did wear a mask. Why? To protect me. Because if I would have gotten that in the early days that had the real shitty respiratory stuff with it, it would have taken me out. I have no doubt it would have taken me out. But do I think that the mask mandates and all that are coming back? Oh, I think places might try, but I don't think it's going to be something that's pushed widespread. And if it is, I think you're going to see even more non-compliance than what you did before. I think you'll see a lot of people just completely frickin' ignore it. I'm not even necessarily, if there's something going around, people need to use common sense. And I didn't see a whole hell of a lot on either side of the aisle during the first go-around. Both sides were doing nothing but screaming political talking points that they were handed to one another, neither one of them being correct. That's how they always love to do it. They keep people stupid that way. They provide the questions and the multiple choice answers, neither of which are correct. Happens all the time. I call it politics, because that's what it is. The right and the left, both communists, bringing us down. That is exactly what our political system is. Communism takes an approach from two different sides. Read a history book, and I'm not even a history buff, but read a history book, and you'll see how they institute communism. And it's a dead ringer for what's happening in this country right now with the Democrats and the Republicans. Neither one of them give a damn about your freedoms. They don't give a shit about your freedoms. I don't think it'll be widespread, because I think that the widespread non-compliance and the widespread outspokenness up front is going to muffle that real quick. One of the things that I don't understand about all the content creators coming out and talking about this is every one of them is like, oh no, Mr. Bill, oh, it's oh no. I understand that whatever you call that baby bullshit is good for numbers. I understand it brings views in, it brings your income in, and whatever. Wouldn't we be better served having a real conversation with people and talking about standing up to it instead of trying to fearmonger people about being under it? They ain't putting me under shit. People have to make a choice whether they're going to be a victim or whether they're going to come out on top. And they need to quit playing both sides for whichever benefits them for the moment. There's a whole hell of a lot of stuff in this nation that we should have totally had it with by now. A whole hell of a lot of stuff. There shouldn't even be a thought of, oh, well, maybe people will really stand up if there's another lockdown. We should have been standing up like you wouldn't believe a long damn time ago. How many deleted emails from Hillary? All the Biden stuff? Fast and Furious, Benghazi. You know damn well I can just sit here and go on and on and on. And we'll get a bunch of people crying about being victims. Not so many standing up and saying we've had enough of this shit. Integrity is what makes a man. And there is such a lack I don't know. I do fear for the future. Because you can't even get people to slow down enough to think about what's important, what's most important. Because so many other entities use emotion to keep them distracted. And to sit here and watch it happen, to see it happen right in front of my eyes, it's mind-blowing. To have the conversations with people that I've had. I mean, if you come here, you probably got a relatively good handle about what's going on. But there is a whole hell of a lot of people out there that don't. They may know things don't seem right. They may not like how things are going, but they don't really understand what's happening, what's really going on. Why? Most of them don't have a good source of information. It's hard for them to find a good source of information when they've got A, mainstream media that propagandizes for the frickin' government, or B, much of the alternative media trying to fearmonger them for a buck. That's not good options. And ain't a damn thing can be done about either one. They damn sure not got enough of a conscience to stop it. It's frustrating. I am at the point that I am so frickin' burnt out. Because somebody with sense can't speak over the screaming of the idiots. It's ridiculous. And I wish people the best. Folks better learn discernment. Otherwise, life will teach them to them. And it's usually not convenient. Like I said in a thing for the show, I forget, I don't remember exactly how I worded it. I click here and see. I'm not even sure now that what part I was gonna point out. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. No accountability. No nothing. And, you know, I can't tell you that absolutely 100% this is or is not going to happen, and neither can they. But it just seems awful crazy that with what little bit of data that they really truly have to confirm, they are really blowing it out. And I'm not saying they won't, for sure. I don't think they will. And I think if they start, and I think they probably will at least attempt some things, but I think you're going to see people come out of the woodwork and say not no, but hell no. I don't see them pulling it off. I just don't. Maybe we should stop thinking like victims and just say hell no. been time for us to do that for a whole hell of a lot of things for a whole hell of a long time. Like I say, I'm as burnt out as it gets. I do got some tabs open here. The country that I would say concerns me the most out of all of them, North Korea, warning of thermonuclear war. Says Washington's close military ties with South Korea are bringing the region closer to a nuclear war, Pyongyang claimed on Tuesday. The state-run Korean Central News Agency, KCNA, argued that the ongoing 11-day U.S.-South Korean exercise, Ulchi Freedom Shield, was a rehearsal for an actual war to invade the North, and that the aggressive character of the drill is becoming ever more conspicuous. Pyongyang further insisted that if during the current drill the U.S. and its allies implement the principles agreed last week at Camp David, Maryland, the possibility of outbreak of a thermonuclear war on the Korean Peninsula will become more realistic. Now, Camp David, that reminds me, I was going to mention this, and I forgot. So, like, I put out that video, and I forgot to look, so I have to peek now. 98? Oh, okay, that's right, because I didn't get a chance to read much more. So, like, I'm on page 98 already of the book that came out today, Don't Judge Me. No, it's awesome. It's awesome. I was actually worried for a moment. The book, like I say, so far, it's absolutely incredible. This guy is an artist with words. And I, for a moment, was thinking this was going to go the alien direction, and I don't, because there's already, and I'm not going to give the book away, there's already one thing right from the get-go, as you crack it open, that does kind of hop in a fantasy direction. So far, though, it's not like the other books, so, he has got a level of realism in his books that other authors don't. Just simply, that they don't. There isn't a whole lot of magic beans to come save the day, you know? And the day isn't saved 99.9% of the time. There's a lot of tragedy. If you've read the series, you know. If you've not read the series, you need to read the series. It's really, really, truly good. So, the official name, I guess, is the John Matherson story or series or whatever. But William Forstchen, and many people call it the 1 Second After series. So that's kind of the common name, because the first book is called 1 Second After. So anyway, incredible series. If you haven't read it, I really do urge you to read it. Really, really incredible. So, probably 2 more days I'll have it done, maybe 3. Because I can't not read it. It just, yeah, I can't not read it. It's addictive. He is, if it's a really good author, it's hard to put down. Let's see. Oh, and the Camp David thing reminded me of that. The reason why is because... No, I'm not going to give away... No, I'm not going to say it, sorry. Almost threw out some spoilers there. Let's see. It says President Joe Biden hosted his South Korean counterpart Yoon Suk Yeol in Japan. Damn. The name just totally... Damn, I can't get my tongue untied. Let's see. Yoon Suk Yeol and Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida step on the mat for... No. Let's see. at Camp David on Friday. In a joint statement, the three leaders vowed to increase military ties and bring our trilateral security cooperation to new heights. They also condemned Pyongyang's unprecedented number of ballistic missile tests and accused it of cyber attacks. North Korea traditionally considers U.S. exercises with South Korea and Japan a threat. Washington, meanwhile, says the maneuvers are purely defensive in nature. The drill, which kicked off on Monday, consists of over 30 separate exercises combining computer-simulated war games with field training. According to the U.S. Navy, the drills will help to solidify the role of the U.S.-South Korean alliance as the linchpin of peace and security in the region. That sounds pretty good, doesn't it? Let's see. Colonel Lee Seung-jun. I don't know if you got to do that when you say the names or not, but it's fun. Spokesman for South Korea's Joint Chiefs of Staff, meanwhile, told reporters that the exercise was aimed to counter the advancing threats from North Korea. Pyongyang has responded to such exercises with its own weapon tests, firing projectiles into the Sea of Japan and Yellow Sea. The Japanese Coast Guard said on Tuesday that North Korea had notified it about the plan to launch a satellite into space later this month. Pyongyang's previous satellite launch in May ended in failure. Probably had a little help. It surprises me much of these other countries, especially small ones, could get anything military up with just, without some just odd thing happening. And believe me, all sorts of technologies out there that you and I ain't got the first clue of. Iran unveils advanced drones. Here it says Iranian defense industry has unveiled the nation's latest state-of-the-art domestically produced drone, Monger 10. What a name. The national media reported on Tuesday. The unmanned aerial vehicle was presented at a ceremony in Tehran attended by Iranian President Ibrahim Raisi. According to the Iranian media, Monger 10 can, I'm sure I'm not saying that right though, can stay in the air for 24 hours and fly at an altitude of 7 kilometers or a little over 4 miles. The UAV has an operational weight of 3,000 kilograms, just over 660 pounds, 3 times as much as Iran's previous drone of a similar design. Monger 6, the new drone, has an operational radius of 2,000 kilometers, the reports say. A video released by Iranian state media shows a UAV that bears some resemblance to the U.S. MQ-9 Reaper drones. Footage shows the aircraft successfully taking off and landing on a runway. It also demonstrates several types of missiles and equipment it can carry. According to the video, up to 3 missiles can be placed under each of its wings. So drones equipped with electronic warfare and intelligence systems and can fly at the speed of 210 kilometers or 130 miles per hour, the Iranian media said. The announcement comes amid heightened tensions between Tehran and Washington, particularly in the Strait of Hormuz. In early August, Iran equipped its naval patrols in the area with drones and longer-range missiles. And that would be why you see this here. We've got the, I don't remember when that was. July 18th is when this article came out here. So, now you know why. Coffee. I'm just tired, and I don't even know why. BRICS to focus on curbing dollar reliance, says South Africa. And I'm not going to read all of it. I don't know jack about the financial markets and all that good stuff. I somewhat understand the clusterfuck that we call the Federal Reserve. I got the idea of what we're told it's supposed to be, and of course I've also got the idea of what it really is. But I don't know a whole lot in detail about it. What I do know from my observations over the past over a decade is that, it'll do whatever the hell they want it to do. So I've sat there and watched things happen that should have caused the market to react this way or that way, and it react completely opposite of how it should react. And there's just a whole lot of stuff that just, no. That market is fake as it gets. And if they need to change up numbers a little bit because something got out of control, I firmly believe that they do exactly that. I think those numbers can be about as trusted as a wet fart. And that's about it. Because, first of all, do we even need to have this discussion with how far in debt we are? Do we even need to have the discussion? I think not, personally, but I don't know. I don't understand that either. I don't understand how we can be in debt. I just don't get it. I don't get how people could allow that to have happened to begin with, not to mention however many damn quadrillion, zillion, whatever the hell it is now. It's stupid high, I know. It's a shame. The other one, though, one I wanted to pay a little bit more attention to is this one here. De-dollarization is reversible, says Putin. I was going to read the first few paragraphs of this. It says, the U.S. dollar is losing its global role in an objective and irreversible process, the Russian president told participants at the BRICS summit in South Africa on Tuesday. Vladimir Putin spoke via video link after choosing not to attend the event in person. De-dollarization is gaining momentum, Putin declared, adding that members of the group of major emerging economies are seeking to reduce their reliance on the greenback in mutual transactions. The Russian leader claimed the 5 BRICS members, Russia, China, India, Brazil, and South Africa, are becoming the new world economic leaders, adding that their cumulative share of global GDP has reached 26%. He noted that if measured by purchasing power parity, BRICS has also surpassed the group of 7 leading industrialized nations, accounting for 31% of the global economy compared to 30% for the G7. Over the past 10 years, mutual investment between BRICS member states has increased by 6 times. Their investments in the world economy have doubled, while cumulative, damn, that word trips me out. That's one word that does. Exports account for 20% of the global total, Putin said. So, I've heard of that book. I'll look it up real quick. I've heard of it. I have not read it. And I don't remember where the hell I've heard of it. 1975 novel written by Arthur Haley. So, The Money Changers. I guess there was a mini TV series and what year was it? 1976. There was a TV mini series on it as well. Huh. Interesting. I might have to find that. I don't know if they've got all of it here or not. I'm going to leave that up, though, because I've checked that out. Yeah, it's pretty crazy, I know that. And I know that we aren't holding on to a whole hell of a lot at this point. Okay. But yeah, I would keep an eye on this stuff, most certainly, because one of the, dominant factors of the global conflicts that we've been in has been this type of a global instability in the economy and the financial market. So, I think that I think as countries move over to BRICS, I think it's each country does it. I think it's going to really have an effect. I don't know. None of it makes sense to me anyway. Because who sets the price of money? To me, it's... Hang on. To me, the way I see it, the only purpose of money is control. If you want to know the biggest truth of what's going on in the world right now, especially when it comes to so many jobs that no longer exist, automation took over a whole hell of a lot of stuff. And it's quickly taking over other stuff as well. Of course, you've heard tons of, people talking about AI and what all it looks like it's going to take over as far as in the workforce. The truth of the matter is, in order to produce everything that all of us need, actually doesn't take a whole hell of a lot of people, believe it or not. I said need, not want. I said need, and I mean that. Need. To produce the things that we actually need. When you look at the entire population of the planet, would truly really be only a little portion of that. And the reason why is because technology, because of equipment. Each one of us as individuals can do so much more with these technological advancements. And we've reached a stage to now, there's more people than there are positions. There truly are. Think of how much stuff is available on the market that is not a need, an absolute need. Think about all the products. There's shit tons of them. That should be enough to show you that there is way more people in existence than what it would take to keep everybody going. Now, I see this as far as the elites, if you will, looking down on it, as that's their problem. That's their conundrum. We have became, for the most part, useless to them. They don't need us. Because they don't need nearly as many people to keep their asses alive. Because, again, technology. It doesn't take as many people to produce. I think that's at the root of everything that's going on. All of the stuff, including the smart cities or whatever, all that stuff. Yeah, absolutely. They're trying to get those of us that are lucky enough to make it through it all, they're trying to get us into a position to where we can be given tasks to help support their life And of course, everybody else is to an extent too. But it's going to be 100% them calling the shots on everything. And how are they going to achieve that? Money. It's the only way they can achieve it. Only way they can achieve it. It is insane the amount of power that mankind will allow a government or other individuals to have over them just for the convenience of using that instead of finding better ways. Look at other countries. They're finding the better ways now. Why? Because they know that the United States is bullshit and their economy is bullshit. Well, if it's bullshit internationally, guess what? It's bullshit domestically as well. But you still use it. Why? Convenience. I mean, think about it. It'd be a hell of a lot harder to go find everything you needed bartering. You know? I'm not saying impossible, but it wouldn't be easy if you could do it. Money, man, that's... You get people to fall for that gag, and you got some control then. Bullshit. Currency should be done like this. What do you want for those 2 chickens? Oh, I don't know. I need my lawnmower blade sharpened. You know? I mean, that's what currency should be. It's my opinion. Not something that some schmuck in a frickin' suit that costs more than your frickin' house tells you it's worth. That's ludicrous. Absolutely ludicrous. Japan's Fukushima water discharge irresponsible, says China. I gotta agree with China. I don't like this one bit. Not one bit. This is insane. This whole damn thing is insane from the start. There has not been a regard for human life and well-being from the beginning of this, regardless of what they say. They were busing in the homeless people to work. Why? Because nobody would miss them when they died. That's not bullshit. Japan was doing this, not China. Japan. Busing their homeless in to work. They didn't give them a choice. They knew that they wouldn't live long after they performed their task. Insane. Insane. There was a huge decrease in homeless Japanese population during that particular period of time. Huge. Huge. In fact, there were individuals who were asking, where's the homeless? Where's all the homeless going? You know, people that were covering, people that were talking about it. That's how I know about it. People were talking about it. Mind-blowing. Now they're just going to dump it into the ocean. So the Japanese government's plan to discharge water from the stricken Fukushima nuclear power plant into the ocean is extremely selfish and irresponsible, Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesman Wang Wenbin said on Tuesday. The ocean sustains humanity. it's not a sewer for Japan's nuclear-contaminated water, Wang told reporters at the daily press briefing, calling the Japanese plan unjustified, unreasonable, and unnecessary. Japan is putting its selfish interest above the long-term well-being of the entire humanity, the spokesman added. China is gravely concerned and strongly opposed to this. I am too. And no, people should not, nations should not be on board for this. But you don't see very many standing up against it, do you? It's crazy. It's what they intend to do is insanity. It says here, Beijing intends to take all the necessary steps to protect the marine environment, ensure food safety, and safeguard people's life and health, Wang added, without adding specifics. So, I'll read this one more here. It says, earlier on Tuesday, Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida announced that the dumping of wastewater into the Pacific Ocean would begin on August 24th, weather conditions permitting. So 2 days. 2 days they're going to start pumping that water from Fukushima right into the ocean. Now, I don't know how many folks are going to recall this, but there was certainly an increase in the radioactivity of certain fish after all this bullshit to begin with. Can you even imagine now? Holy hell. That's why I'm not a fan of nuclear power. Sorry. There are forms of, I don't remember if it's fission, fusion, whatever. But there are forms of nuclear power. Is it... Oh gosh, I don't remember. I remember a name thorium, but I don't think that... There's a method. There's somehow that you can you can have a nuclear power plant, and it does not... The materials that you use do not produce all of the waste and stuff like that is so dangerous and so harmful. In fact, they can build nuclear reactors that are actually safe, as in can be shut down, as in there isn't going to be a bunch of widespread death if the rods don't have, water running over them nonstop for 50 billion years. I mean, what they are doing is insanity, but they're doing it for the weapons material. That's why they're doing it. I mean, don't let them bullshit you. That's why they're doing it. They've got so much freaking weapons material. Man. It's insane how much weapons material that they've been storing and stacking. Oh, they've got so much stored that they have breaches sometimes of their storage facilities, and they vent. I mean, it happened. What was that place in, I don't know, was it New Mexico, or hell, I don't know. And then there was another one up state of Washington or something. I don't know. I can't remember the exact details. It's been a little while ago. But there was 2 different places to where they had, I want to say it was fires in the storage facilities. There were issues, and there was some venting that went on. No, we just have to stop the selfishness. We have to stop the destructive behavior. It's a shame. Okay, Washington State. Yeah, I was thinking that, and I can't remember the name of the place. I can't, either one. The one, I don't know if it was New Mexico. There was one, too, I think somewhere near, like, the Las Cruces area, if I'm not mistaken. And then up in, like you're saying, Washington State, there's another facility that they had, I believe, an underground fire and wound up venting, and they tried to cover it up and all that. Now, I'm not a fan of nuclear power. that might be it, Kevin. That might be it. I can't remember for sure, but that could be it. I think there's a whole lot more of that stuff that actually happens, and you never hear about it because nobody's the wiser. They're not going to let us know. Not how that works. If you think that's how that works, go read up on the truth behind 3 Mile Island. And what really was released. Because there's few dead bodies to beg to differ with what the government claimed. Let's see. That's same with like St. Louis. There's that big ordeal going on still about, I believe there's a school and in a neighborhood by some place where they worked with materials for nuclear bombs. And so there's an area in St. Louis, or right near St. Louis, that is pretty heavily contaminated. And there's been quite a few people that's come down with illness as a result. And they're still, I mean, it's insane what's all going on. If I'm not mistaken, not far from that, where the radioactive material is still at, there's a landfill on fire burning its way towards the radioactive material right now as I speak. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Anyway. More German auto giants abandoning Russian customers, says media. Russian LNG exports to southern neighbor surge. Ukrainian pilots must learn English to get F-16s, says Pentagon. Can we have the same requirement for crossing the border? No? Okay, well, I tried. No working European security architecture without Russia, says EU member. Let's see. U.S.-made military speedboat destroyed off Ukrainian coast, says Moscow. Yeah, them poor guys didn't have a damn chance, I'll tell you that. Let's see. Oh, wow. That's crazy. That's crazy, Kevin. Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable. And then a lot of times when they do clean up sites, I mean, that's all they literally do, right? They take it from one place to somewhere else where the people don't know that they're putting it, most cases, and then they dump it, the people none the wiser, until sometime down the road when it breaches containment or whatever happens, you know? It's crazy. Swiss Defense Ministry under scrutiny over aborted Ukraine arms deal. Ukrainian infiltration attempt into Russia thwarted, says governor. Female U.S. Army commandos face harassment, says a report. BRICS Bank may accept 5 new members. I'll have to see how that turns out. Biden compares deadly Hawaii blaze to minor fire in his house. Man, the fact that they even allow that man to go speak on an official level. Well, it tells me that Olympia has already fallen. Because a legitimate nation, would never do that. Our nation's gone through great strengths on many occasions to prop up the commander-in-chief and make them look so much stronger than they really were. Countless times throughout history. And this is the first time they've just let somebody get up there and just whatever the hell it is you call what Biden's doing. It really, truly makes me question the integrity of our nation at this point. I mean, as in the real integrity. I think it's gone. I don't know that you come back from that. Not saying you can't rebuild from it, but I don't think you can just snap back from it. Especially at this point. It's gone way too far. Yeah, Babylon is falling. Exactly. Let's see. Moscow publishes footage of attack on Ukrainian military speedboat. And like I said, them poor guys didn't stand a chance. U.S. pharma giant withdraws key hepatitis drug from Russia. Western firms ignoring G7's Russian oil price cap, says Bloomberg. Kiev estimates F-16 delivery timeline, so they're kind of really pushing all that stuff up. Quite impressively, to be honest. Because if you haven't been following along in the home game, we promised all kinds of shit. And it's slowly getting there. They got the cluster bombs there real damn quick, though. That I gotta say. They got the cluster bombs, lickety-split. They were right there in Ukrainian hands. Tanks, on the other hand, well, we gotta strip them down a little bit. I'm telling you, all you gotta do, right, if you need those tanks prepped for Ukraine, and you need all the stuff stripped down to the bare, just take them to Harlem. Brooklyn, something like that, right? Just ride into the streets, walk away for 10 fucking minutes, and I'll tell you what, they'll have those tanks stripped like nothing you've ever seen. All be up on concrete blocks, but there won't be an important damn thing left on them. Anyway, let's see. You know, gotta think with new ideas, fresh ideas. Let's see. 8 bodies recovered after deadly Moscow sewers tour. Ukrainians dodging draft amid personnel shortages, says BBC. A Russian economy growing against all odds, says Putin. Yeah, I hear you there on the southern border. And I really hear you there. Because I do think that's, I don't think it's going to be a worry of the immigrants coming across. I think it's going to be militaries. I really, truly do think that at some point in the not so distant future, that's a very high likelihood. And I don't trust Canada either. I mean, I'm not saying that to Canadians, of course. I'm saying that to Trudeau. I do not trust Trudeau. Because I think Trudeau would turn yellow on the U.S. at the slightest better deal than what the U.S. offered him. Because he's just a snake like that. Let's see. Russian economy growing against all odds, says Putin. Russian lives also matter. Racist, says Lars von Trier. Racist. Putin urges investment growth in Russia. Ukraine threatens more attacks on Crimea. Let's see. West perplexed by Ukraine's strategy, says New York Times. And Pentagon sitting there scratching their heads. Says, who in the hell can be that damn stupid? Right? I mean, they're perplexed. Japan. Oh, covered that. Russian president comments on Kiev's battle tactics. No, nothing's ringing a bell, Kevin, as far as the borders on Saudi Arabia. Nothing's ringing a bell. I don't know. It seems like a week or two I was covering something about. I don't know. Was it like a week or two or so ago? Because there's something ringing around up there about Saudi Arabia and neighboring countries, but I can't recall it well enough to know what it was. Okay. Yeah, I mean, a whole damn world is nothing but a big frickin' Tinder bundle. It's unreal. Let's see, and I covered that. That's it. That was all of them. Wow. Yeah, it's, I can say it's crazy. I have no idea what to expect or what to, I mean, it's really hard to say. But I think as far as this whole lockdown and masking thing and all that, stand up. Don't sit there and allow people to make you a victim of it because it brings them a little bit of revenue or gratitude or whatever the word I'm trying to think of is. Not gratitude, but I can't remember. But nonetheless, people are being used because it makes other people money. Oh, wow. Oh, okay. Okay. I'll have to look into that, Kevin. I'll look into that a little bit more. I know that whatever it is ringing around in my head wasn't that. I can tell you that much. So, I will definitely look into that. So, anyway, I am going to get out of here for tonight. And I'm going to go crash out. So, tired. I've been tired lately. So, like, a little extra tired. I don't know. But, anyway, I hope you all have a good evening. God willing, we'll be back tomorrow. I appreciate you coming and hope to see you tomorrow night. As always, God bless you. We love you. Be one with your spirit. And shalom.